I am Chris Kaler.
And I'm Amber Foster Kajin Cosplay, and today we're back again to guys with The Boys, episode 7, season 1. What happened last episode?
Last episode was about uncovering the truth.
Yeah.
They did it wrong, but we still got to see some backstories, and I really liked it because that means answers, and the way they did it was pretty fun too.
Yeah.
So we learned a bit about Homelander. We are not sure if they created the baby, or if, you know, all the powers in a Compound V started with the kid, with them. We will have to wait and see if we get more answers about that, but what we know for sure is that he spent his childhood in a lab.
Yeah.
He's got no parents, he doesn't remember them.
That's pretty sad.
Yeah, he's got no memories of nothing happy. He only has one blanket that he keeps dear, and they used it last episode to get some emotion out of him. That was sick. So even though, like we've said it several times in this show, but I mean, even though the characters are assholes, they still have, you know, some redeeming qualities and some humanity behind, you know, the character, and it's cool to look at that humanity and analyze it.
Okay, I wouldn't say redeemable
For some of them,
qualities, you know?
for some of them, can like,
But they're not
A-Train, for example.
just asshole. That's the thing.
No, but A-Train, for example, I pity him more than I hate the guy because of, you know, the reasons behind everything he's done. It's like he's been a slave to Homelander and the drug, like, forever, so that's why he's doing all the stuff he's doing, you know? But he comes from a broken home, in a broken, you know, society where, you know, he was in danger of walking home alone, you know, at night. If it wasn't for his power, he would be dead, you know, stuff like that. Like, we hear about his past and we're like, oh shit, yeah, it feels bad to judge him. At the same time, like, it doesn't, you know, forgive the fact that they're assholes today. But
No,
it sheds some light on the characters. Someone else we learned about more last episode was Butcher. Apparently his wife was raped by Homelander and then she disappeared. He thinks that either Homelander killed her or she killed herself, so same difference. And what else happened too? Oh, they asked Mesmer for help with Kimiko's past. So she was taken away from her home and trained to be a soldier against her will. And then apparently Vought is looking to create villains, super villains, because if you have super villains to fight, you have more reasons to accept the heroes in the military.
Why not? Right, guys?
But Mesmer turned around and gave Homelander the photos of every guy in the boys, so it's not good.
So basically they are in deep shit right now.
Yeah. So let's jump, like there's only 2 episodes left in this season. Let's jump in this one and see what happens next, because I feel like shit is about to hit the fan.
Alright.
Let's go. Well, that episode was stressful. Woo-hoo! Okay, I get why he kind of did that. Like, she was gonna basically bring him back to Vought. He would be dead. So I get why he did that. Butcher is so fucking dramatic. Like, he's a drama queen. He likes to go all out.
He sure is.
But the whole situation, like, I get it. Like, the whole situation with his wife, the way she got out of the room, like, I'm not pretending I know, like, what a person who's been raped will look like after. Like, she looked shocked for sure. It kind of confused me for a bit, because for weird reasons, the first thing that got through my mind was, like, was she willing? Like, what's going on? But then, like, no, she did look shocked, so I'm guessing that she didn't know what happened.
Unless she slept with him, but realized that she did a mistake.
I don't know, like, she seems so sweet with Butcher, so, and
unfortunately, we are all humans. We can get caught up in the moment and make mistakes, even if we do not want to.
But, like, at the same time,
I'm not saying that he did or did not rape her, that she was or she wasn't willing. We don't know what happened behind those doors, that door.
The thing is, like, I thought that she had confessed to Butcher, but the truth came from someone else. That's why I'm a bit like, I need more about what happened to know for sure, because he just knows what Mallory told him, if I'm not wrong about that, because, like, she wasn't supposed to say anything because of the fucking baby, which is, like, crazy. It's a crazy situation. Like, well, now we saw her dead. Like, we can assume that she died.
Yeah, she died.
Giving birth to Homelander's baby, and he thought he couldn't have children because of whoever he was or whatever he was. Turns out it's not true, but, I mean, I don't know, like, if it's possible for him to actually have a child with someone who might, be able to support the baby.
Like, with another soup?
Yeah, but the whole thing about, maybe, like, for example, he dated Maeve for a while, and she's also, like, she's got, one of her powers is that she's got tough skin. Like, could she support it if it happened? Although I don't want it to happen, like, she's got someone else, but...
Unless with the compound V, maybe maybe the drugs is making them sterile,
Sterile?
Yeah.
Well, if he was, doped with compound V, yes, that depends on if he was the first one or not. That's, I mean, this is bringing back the theory we had last episode. We still don't know if he was studied because he was a soup and they created a compound V from him being a soup, or if they basically took a child and doped him.
I think that they took a child and doped him because the doctors literally said that he should have been raised with his mother.
Yeah, but it could also be born. Like, that's the thing. If all superheroes were born normal and then they were doped with compound V and through the vaccine.
In that case, maybe through a surrogate mother, maybe?
Or they just took a baby who had powers from his mother. They bought him from someone. That could happen. In any case, he has a mom. It's just that they took him away. So he wasn't made at the lab like you thought. And he's human. It's just that we don't know if he was normal at birth and they doped him, or if he had superpowers from the start and he was doped later on to make him stronger.
We might not know that yet, but we know for sure that what raising a child in a lab does in the future, it creates shitty people.
I mean, he was like, this entire conversation, he was compared to a dog. I felt really bad for him, and the actor really, like, it's subtle. It's not like he started crying out loud, outright, but he was subtle, and he brought it to the table. That was a pretty good performance, and I mean, I don't want to feel bad for Homelander because of all the shit he's done, but at the same time, in this show, there is no good or bad guy. I feel like everyone has his moment, or his good and bad moment, so we can root for whoever we want.
Okay. For every soup, there is the bad side and there's the more tragic human side. We know about the deep, about his about his physical condition, and that people are having weird fetishes.
Well, with them, it's the same as with A-Train or even Maeve and Homelander also, but we see it more with these two. With the Deep, it's the fact that the image that Vought created has stripped them of their humanity. They're not seen as human anymore. They're seen as indestructible superheroes. So no one cares. Like, it's like they are fantasies. They are celebrities. It's very, like, we talked about this in the first episode, but everything that A-Train is going through, everything that Deep is going through, it's similar to an actor or an actress who's past his or her prime and still needs to stay in touch with his fans or her fans, still needs to be at the top of the list, and that's why they do surgeries for their to stay young, to look young, kind of like A-Train is still taking the drug because if he can't perform, he's not going to be number one anymore and he's going to lose his place. It's all about the performance, and with the Deep, it's all about the image. He does something bad, but then he needs to twist the truth, so he keeps his image. And no matter what he does, he'll still have fans around who see the persona that Vought created, and they don't care if they hurt him, if they, are rude to him or are mean to him or anything, or, if they just live their fantasies at his expense,
Yeah.
So that's the bad side of what they created this, and it's,
I was thinking about regarding that, but with Homelander.
well,
Like,
yeah,
for someone who grew up in a lab
Mhm.
with people looking at him like a lab rat, basically. I think that with Rebecca, that's her name, Butcher's wife. With Rebecca, she seems so nice, such a warm person, you know.
Well, she worked with them.
Yeah, she worked with him. She basically is publishes the.
What did they say, that she worked on his Twitter profile? Was it Twitter?
Twitter account, yeah.
Yeah.
She's publishing stuff for him, basically, and I think that she was so sweet with him that maybe he might have grew fond of her.
I think he longs, you know, for human connections.
Because he's been told that he couldn't have any children. He's not looked at as a human being, just like John, but as Homelander, a lab rat.
Well, it could have
someone aside.
It could be that.
You bring up Rebecca, who's such a warm person, or such a nice person, and it's like, I really don't know what happened behind those doors. I'm secretly hoping that he might have some redeemable qualities, and he did not rip her, because we don't know what happened, so I'm not gonna make any assumptions.
At the same time, like, we've seen Deep use his fame to get some.
Yeah.
Like, there's two sides to the story, because as superheroes, as celebrities, they do have this superiority complex, and it's not like Homelander doesn't have it. Like, we've seen him several times act like he was an actual god. It's the speech they've been fed over and over again by everyone involved, that they are some other species, that they're above everyone else. He himself gave a speech like that to Maeve, so it could be that, you know, they think that they are so above everyone else that he can do whatever they want and not get the consequences, which is a fact. No one can go against them right now because they're too strong. That's why, you know, the whole thing about terrorists being supes is a problem, because if you have people with powers who go against the country, you cannot fight them unless you have superheroes in the military. True. Which is what wants, and I mean, they're so stuck, like they're between a rock and a hard place. And there's also the fact that, as like you said, human beings who went through what he's been through, they lack connections with humans. They lack actual emotions, actual memories, you know, the stuff that makes us human. They don't have it. So I would not be surprised if he longed for connections with people who might see beyond the persona. They don't see him as this figure. They actually see the human being behind it. Now, maybe both are true. You know, maybe he saw an opportunity, and longing for that connection, he used his status to get what he wanted.
Maybe.
But at the same time, like, we don't know. We need to see. They spent 3 hours together. We need to know what happened behind these doors. But because right now all we've seen from Homelander is that he's
he didn't know what happened to her.
Well, he didn't kill her. That's for sure. Now we know. But he still spent 3 hours with her, and they slept together. He got her pregnant.
Yeah.
So, and I mean, he's not above.
One hell of a bird, though.
And we know that, I mean, he doesn't value human life as much as he probably should, like with the whole plane situation, you know? And, I mean, I understand him this episode. Like, I know he's got to deal with everything. It's not that he's a super villain and stuff. He needs to keep his status. He needs to protect Vought. He needs to do his job. Now he's facing, you know, a group of people who are not above killing soups. They did get rid of Translucent. That's why, like, the whole speech with Starlight and stuff, I was feeling so uncomfortable, because I was like, Hughie should have told her the truth before Homelander got to tell her the truth, because even though all he said was true, he kind of twisted it enough, and that's not because he doesn't know, like, the actual truth and stuff, and he manipulated her. He doesn't know better. Like, he doesn't know that Hughie really had feelings for her. As far as he's concerned, love doesn't exist, you know, he doesn't understand it, so he's like, he used you to get to us, so I understand his reaction.
Which, in a way, kinda did.
But that's the thing, like, we've been with Hughie this whole time, and we know that he doesn't want to use her, and he's tried so many times to keep her away from all of this, But because like, at the end of the day he had his guilt about Robin, he chose to still use her. That's why I'm like, it's true.
And also the fact that Butcher threatened him to tell everything.
Yeah, at the end, yes.
That's the main point, though.
That's why, like, I was happy that she called him to, you know, get him to tell her the truth. But, I mean, everything that she learned is still true. Like, he still killed Translucent. To be fair, Translucent did attack him, did try to kill him. And, I mean, it wasn't looking good. And then Butcher got in the whole thing, and it was too late after that to back up. So, he had a choice, but he was also between a rock and a hard place. It was between death or killing someone.
Even if you wanted to release him, Translucent and Homelander would have killed everyone.
That's the thing. It was between death or killing Translucent.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And, I mean, that's why, like, I kind of like this show because of that. Because, I mean, they managed to swim in the gray area so well. Kind of like with A-Train when he went through his, you know, his crisis with Hughie earlier, when he was accusing him of killing his girlfriend, when we know that Homelander told him to kill her. It wasn't them, but he's looking desperately for a way to not feel guilty about what he did, so he's pushing the guilt on the guys who started it all. But to be fair, like, who actually started it all? Because he's the one who introduced her to the drug, and Vought was the one who introduced him to the drug, and if it wasn't for her knowing about the drug, nothing would have happened, because the boys would not have gotten involved with her if they, you know, had not seen what happened with the blue stuff.
I'm gonna say pretty much everyone has a huge part in our death.
They all need to face the
company,
facts.
A-Train, Homelander, even the boys. Everyone is involved. Everyone is responsible.
A-Train needs to, first of all, get off that drug, stop focusing so much on performance, and face the facts, because he's trying to dodge the guilt. I don't know where he is right now, because, I mean, I would have expected him to be a prisoner in, you know, the place where they all were, but then the C.I.A. showed up and no one, you know, mentioned A-Train, so I'm like, what did they do with him? Like, where is he? But at the same time, like, he needs to face the facts. He killed his girlfriend because Homelander told him to, because of the whole drug stuff, and they all need to start facing the truth. Stop blaming people for your own shit. Like, Butcher also needs to do that. Like, he needs to stop putting every soup in the same bag.
Do you remember the look in his face when he was smashing Mesmer's head on the sink?
Great acting performance, disturbing moment though.
Yes.
Just because, I mean, he saw, like, but he has issues as well. He also needs to face the facts and face the truth and stop putting everyone in the same bag. It's a way for them, kind of like he's doing what A-Train is doing. He's doing exactly what A-Train is doing, which is trying not to live the guilt and go through the grief by taking all his anger and pushing it onto all the soups. It's not how you heal. That's not how you move on. At least he did the right thing with, you know, getting the CIA involved this episode, so that's good.
Well, thank you. You got, like, innocent people involved.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I mean, yeah, but they're still the government, you know, they still... Technically, like, what they were doing was dangerous, but at least now they have people who actually have power behind them.
Yes. Yeah.
Is it going to make a difference? Maybe not, but we'll see.
I'm going to be honest, with the soup, I think I'm liking more and more the Deep. Just because seeing him on screen being so miserable is just so funny.
I mean,
every single time that he's trying to save one of his people, you know.
He was the first one to do something shitty on the show, I think.
Yeah.
And, well, no, but that wasn't an accident. Shitty, that wasn't an accident. And we hated him for that at first. But then every episode that followed, they tried to make fun of him. They kind of turned him into this joke of a character with still layers, you know, to how he feels and stuff. So we can't help but laugh. And it's Chase Crawford, you know. We know him from Gossip Girl, so we can't help but feel connected to his character somehow. So this is weird, but yeah.
Oh, that poor lobster.
Anyway, do you have anything else you want to...
You're gonna save me right now. No, never mind, buddy. I got you.
Yeah. Do you have anything else you want to discuss?
No, I'm done.
So we'll move on. Thank you guys so much for watching this episode with us. If you want to see the finale to season 1 right away,
man.
yes, it's already on Patreon. You can check it out right now. The link is in the description.
And if you don't, you can wait for the next one to be up on YouTube the next week.
Yes.
So wait for it and see you then, guys.
Bye.